Hello everyone, my name is John Emerson and I am the U.S. Ambassador to Germany. 2015, marking the 25th anniversary of Germany's reunification, was a momentous year. And yes, it was also extremely difficult and challenging at times. We won't ever forget the terrorist attacks in Paris in January and then again in November, or the attacks in Beirut, Mali, Tunisia, Kenya, my home state of California, and elsewhere. The war in Syria and other crises around the world have resulted in a huge influx of refugees, with historic numbers arriving on Germany's doorstep. We face diverse threats, both in the physical world and in cyberspace. And yet the world also witnessed important progress on a number of fronts during 2015. We welcomed the referendum in Ireland and the Supreme Court decision in the United States that legalized marriage between LGBT couples in those two countries. The reestablishment of diplomatic relations between the United States and Cuba brought a final end to the Cold War in Latin America. And thanks to Chancellor Merkel, we have a path forward to bring peace and stability to Ukraine through the Minsk process. The Chancellor also hosted a successful G7 summit at Schloss Elmau in Bavaria, laying the groundwork for cooperation and coordination in a number of key areas, not the least of which was addressing global warming. In July, Germany, the United States, and the other members of the P5+1 signed an historic deal with Iran on that country's nuclear program. The international community successfully beat back the Ebola virus in West Africa. Germany showed exemplary leadership in meeting the refugee crisis in a humane and thoughtful manner. And the world came together in France, just a few short weeks after the Paris attacks, to approve a global plan to tackle the dangers of our changing climate. Of course, even noting all of these achievements, we recognize that much work remains to be done. In none of these cases can we pat ourselves on the back and say, the job is finished. Agreements that have been signed must be implemented. We must continue to help refugees and integrate them into our societies, even as we try to work out diplomatic solutions to the conflicts in Syria and elsewhere. We must remain unwavering in the fight against Daesh or ISIL and other terrorist organizations. And we must address the absence of economic opportunity that can lead to despair and radicalization, especially of young people, in many parts of the world. In 2016, we will have to work hard and think creatively to build a world that offers peace and prosperity, health and happiness, hope and dignity to all people everywhere, no matter what their religion or ethnic background or country of origin, no matter what their gender or sexual orientation or political beliefs. And on a personal note, my family and I can hardly believe that 2016 will be our last full year here in Germany as the American ambassador. But we look forward to working with our friends and colleagues throughout Germany to address the challenges we face and to take advantage of the important opportunities that lie before us. So with that in mind, I'd like to wish you all a happy new year. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen guten Rutsch. Vielen, vielen Dank.